Seltzer Kings.
Podcasts.
This episode is brought to you by Netflix. Global superstar and comedy sensation Kevin Hart returns for his 5th Netflix special, Acting My Age.
I'm not the same man that I used to be. I go down the stairs sideways. Go ahead, you in a rush? Go around.
With a fresh perspective on life, family, and getting older.
Older you get, the less you can have. Is there sesame seeds on that bun? Get it out of here!
Kevin's bringing his signature high-energy humor and physical comedy in a true return to his stand-up origins. Watch Kevin Hart, Acting My Age, now streaming only on Netflix.
Hey, this is Bill Simmons from the Bill Simmons Podcast, here to tell you that Michelob Ultra, the official beer partner of the NBA, is bringing NBA fans closer than ever this season with chances to win great prizes, including courtside tickets. Enter now at michelobultra.com/courtside. Michelob Ultra Courtside 25 to 26. No purchase necessary. Open to U.S. residents 21 plus. Begins on October 1st, 2025 and ends on June 30th, 2026. Multiple entry periods. See official rules at michelobultra.com/courtside for free entry deadlines, prizes, and details.
Gavin, it would be an absolute pleasure to have you spend Thanksgiving with my family. When you get there, tell them that you're a surprise for me and remind them that I'm not coming.
Yes. The following podcast contains...
Your use of language has altered since our arrival. It is currently laced with, shall I say, more colorful metaphors. Double dumbass on you, and so forth.
You mean the profanity?
Yes.
That's simply the way they talk here. Nobody pays any attention to you unless you swear every other word.
Explicit language.
Hello and welcome to the podcast that asks a simple question. When you tried to stab Uncle Murray with a carving fork and failed, what the hell were you thinking? I am your host, Dave Bledsoe, and this is a total redux of episode number 87, Thanksgiving in Hell, where we take apart an old episode and do it right. Oh, and yeah, we're discussing how to get through the next few days without hurting anyone. So you know what? Stay tuned. The What the Hell Were You Thinking podcast is brought to you by Distractors. The holidays are bad enough without the stress and frustration of modern political discourse. Distractors are here to help. Our team of professionally trained interventionists are standing by for your calls with helpful advice, neutral discussion topics, and instant counseling to help you make it through with the least amount of damage, spiritual, emotional, or physical. Download our app to your mobile device and press the big red button when the fighting starts, and our interventionists will immediately provide you with a safe, simple way to make it stop. Distractors. We can't fix the country, but we can try to make the holiday dinner as painless as possible, as long as you don't expect a miracle.
You want to say grace?
I'm not saying that shit. I think it's stupid.
Well, I know you think it's stupid, but at least
you
you can
can't
say
force
something.
religious beliefs on me.
Oh, nobody's forcing that on you.
Yeah, you kind of are.
It's just a home video. We do it all the time. It's fine.
He does this every year. He does what he makes it.
Mom, we're gonna look back on this and we're gonna enjoy it, laugh, and everything. It's fine.
You did make everybody happy. I'll say grace.
You're just doing this to get on my nerves. Say it. You're the head of the
Yeah, I
household.
am. All right, bow your head. Dear Lord, bless the food that's in front of us. Thank you, dear Lord, for all the family that is around the table. And dear Lord, please, I emphasize please, find Jesse a job come Monday morning. Amen.
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 Yeah.
Amen.
Real funny, Dad. Made me look like a stupid idiot in front of the whole family.
It wasn't funny. It was
You do this all the time.
I know.
Sarcasm makes me look stupid.
Jess, all we want is a job. That's all we need from you.
And it worked for you. That's not a job. That's not good enough.
Yeah, that's good enough. That's plenty good enough.
Could you
Why
just say something
What?
that you're thankful for? It's Thanksgiving. You can
I'm
just
not
say,
playing his game. Why are you taking his side?
I'm just trying to keep the peace. Let's just say something that you're thankful for.
Soon it will once again be Thanksgiving here in the broken and battered nation of the United States. Thanksgiving, a holiday ostensibly intended for people to gather together with their loved ones and give thanks for all the bounty they've received over the past year.
I'm tired of being thankful.
I mean, this holiday's a shit show on a normal year, and after all we've been through since January, Gestapo-style ICE raids, troops deployed in the streets, the weaponizing of an innocent Subway sandwich.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
And I know bitching about Thanksgiving is just as much a part of the tradition as drunkenly lurching over the table and striking your cousin with a turkey leg after he brings up trans athletes. But in any other country, a decently run country, we just cancel the whole fucking thing and take the day off at home watching football before discovering that thanks to Trump's tariffs, Black Friday deals actually consist of us paying 30% more on purchases, all going to build his new White House ballroom.
Doesn't seem fair.
No, instead we have to get in the fucking car, drive 6 hours, and eat with a group of people that we honestly could not stand and wouldn't be caught dead near if we didn't share a certain percentage of their DNA. I personally gave up on the entire thing a long time ago. After all, if I want to cook a turkey, I can do that any damn time I please in the comfort of my own home without finding new and exciting ways to despise a blood relative. And considering my personal politics, any family gathering that I might attend would be much more like a Klingon bar mitzvah than a joyous moment among my kin.
Koi kelles puk lod, koi pupek pu, yakbo matbo jeshui, semochumebu.
This year, as I do every year, I will gather with a small group of friends of like political persuasions. We will eat food and I will drink wine that I'm supposed to pretend to like before I slip away early and drink myself into a stupor while listening to 80s music. You know, like I do on a normal day off. Sadly, I know that many of my listeners will not have the luxury of being estranged from their families, so you will likely need some help getting through the next couple of days without committing avunculicide.
Wouldn't kill your old uncle.
If your family is anything like mine, you can identify the troublemakers before you ever arrive at dinner. You know the people you need to avoid.
All of them? All of them.
Okay, yeah, but every family has that one asshole who just delights in stirring up the shit, who can't keep their opinions to themselves, who thinks they're just a little bit smarter than everyone else.
That would be you.
Yeah, I've been told that since I no longer go to Thanksgiving dinners, everyone is actually happier. After all, if you aren't able to tell who the asshole in the group is, it's probably you. But on the off chance you are not the asshole, you certainly know who the Dave in your family scenario might be. Stay away from that person. I mean, you just sit at the kids' table if you have to. Indeed, I recommend sitting there no matter what. Sure, you have to endure giggling and farting and endless repetitions of 6-7. You know what? They're still smarter than your MAGA cousin. So should you find yourself with no practical options this week, we are going to offer some practical tips for surviving the Thanksgiving holiday. To begin with, you got to practice smiling. Not just smiling anyway, you got to practice smiling like you mean it. This is a skill many of you already possess because you have a job. And roughly 93% of being employed is the joyless smile of acceptance when being asked to do something inane, time-consuming, and essentially pointless.
Just like church.
Stare into your bathroom mirror and smile. Practice holding that smile for a full minute. It will feel strange at first. Indeed, it will be strange. But you need to hold that smile for a full minute. You must also, at the same time, not smile like you're thinking to yourself, asshole, 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 over and over in your head. This is the part of the smile that most of us fail to perfect, and indeed, when done wrong, leads to the exact situation we are trying to avoid here. I suggest incorporating a little self-deprecating shrug into the smile to indicate that you are not internally screaming while you are smiling. Let me know how this works, as I've never been able to accomplish this task. Another useful skill for avoiding conflict is the art of selective hearing. If you're a parent, you're already a master of this. Just shift the subject of your selective hearing from the incessant whining of your ungrateful children to the incessant whining of a distant relative, or indeed your own parents, who frankly deserve it for tuning you out all of those years when all you were asking for is Levi's 501 jeans because all the other kids were wearing them, and you would just die if you had to go to school wearing Sears Toughskin jeans again.
Stop with the whining, all right?
So naturally, yeah, you were mocked by everyone for wearing Sears jeans while they were wearing Levi's. Why did you hate me, Mom? Sorry. If you are not a parent, you can develop selective hearing by remembering what it was like when your parents ignored your perfectly reasonable request for very expensive blue jeans. Now, just apply that same neutral drone that you know your mom was hearing to any topic you don't want to engage in. Listen closely for keywords, watch for body language, and when you see the topics trending, mute that fucker like you've accidentally pressed play on a porn movie on your phone while it's connected to Bluetooth. A skilled selector can actually mentally block an entire person from their perception. Or so I've been told by my sister, who's been doing this to me for decades when I go off on one of my little tangents again. She may have an unfair advantage having raised 3 kids, but I don't know. If you can manage to just blank the most offensive relatives mentally, you might even find yourself enjoying the day, watching those around you who have not mastered your state of zen slowly boil over with rage while you just pile the gravy on top of the mashed potatoes. Now we got to talk about chemical remedies for dealing with your family. We're forced to because, God help me, I'm about to say something I can't believe is actually coming out of my face hole. You probably shouldn't drink alcohol.
I thought I knew everything about you.
I know. It's hard enough to get through the day without a little something to take the edge off, but I also know from personal experience that to get the kind of edge off we're talking about requires a bit more than just a glass of wine. We're talking about bottles of wine. And once you get past that first bottle of wine, the little voice inside of you that had been saying, just let Uncle Eddie go, when he goes on about deporting brown people and how that probably would be a great thing for us to put them in concentration camps, suddenly starts shouting,
"What the fuck did you just say to me?"
And the next thing you know, you and Uncle Eddie are screaming at each other over the green bean casserole, and about 5 minutes later, one of you will be wearing the green bean casserole.
Listen, we've all been there.
There is, of course, an alternative edge remover, one that I heartily endorse for everyone as an incredible tool for peace and civility during the holiday feast.
Smoke a big fat blunt.
Many of you are fortunate to live in enlightened areas where you may simply stop in a licensed distributor of fine cannabis products, look the clerk in the eye and say, God help me, please, I need something to keep me from killing my family this Thanksgiving. And a friendly weed expert will help you choose the right product for you. Sadly, in some parts of the country where you most desperately need a friendly weed expert, you do not have this essential service. Much like you will soon not have medical insurance, civil rights, unless, of course, you're a white guy, then, of course, you will be fine. If you find yourself in a weedless state, you will need to think creatively to solve your problem. It's vitally important that if you're traveling by commercial transportation, you do not take your weed with you. You do not want to be emptying your pockets at the TSA checkpoint and have the little baggie of your Zim tumble into the Tupperware. Best case scenario, you lose your herb. Worst case scenario,
strip searched and deloused, denied phone call.
If you are driving into any rural area with out-of-state plates on your car, I highly recommend not carrying your weed along. Spending the weekend with your dickhead relatives is bad. Having the local Roscoe P. Coltrane seize your car by civil forfeiture while you spend this holiday in a tiny cell with a large redneck is far, far worse. No, you're going to need to reach out to your teenage relatives, find out where they get their weed. Do not do this on social media. The last thing you need is a screen cap of your Facebook messages being pushed in front of Aunt Edna during the first 5 minutes at Grandma's. You could also try to call them on their phone, but I'm fairly certain that no teenager is even aware that their cellular phone, which they all carry, is capable of voice communications. I guess you could try to FaceTime them, but honestly, I doubt they would answer. No, you're going to need to ask them in person at dinner. I think I'm going to create an app for older relatives to beg weed from younger relatives, and I'll call it Weed Me or something, and I'll make millions. But we're not there yet. So the best thing you can do is catch them away from the crowd when they get ready to start their cousin walk, and come out and ask them, and just don't be coy, tell them what you want, and be prepared with cash.
Don't be a dick.
They are doing you a huge favor. Make it worth their time. If you feel you must travel with your own stash, for God's sakes, make it an edible. A couple of brownies is not going to arouse the same suspicion as a film canister full of green leaves. Just make sure your edible doesn't get mixed in with the other family desserts. Or, now that I think about it, do mix it in with the other family desserts, and it might make this Thanksgiving the best Thanksgiving your family has ever had. Sometimes, however, the best laid plans of mice and men go sadly awry, and you're stuck in a hole in the wall with a hunk of rancid cheese. When you find yourself in that kind of situation, you got two choices. You can just listen to your sexist, homophobic, racist douchewad of a cousin proudly proclaim his January 6th pardon while your stomach fills with bile and you puke Aunt Tilly's yams all over the dining room, or
now help me find some pliers. I'm gonna make this guy eat his own dick.
And the fighting starts. And there are 3 key rules to Thanksgiving fighting. Don't start no shit unless you plan on ending shit, go personal, and get vicious. And finally, whatever it takes, you get in the last word. Even if the last word is from the back of a police car.
Good plan.
I've had better.
Let's break down what I mean. Rule 1. Don't start shit unless you planned on ending shit. Face it, if you know you don't need to be the one to start the fight and you aren't willing to do whatever it takes to win the fight, don't have the fight. Go ahead and puke them yams, kid. But if you decide to get in, go all the way in. No point pulling your punches just because Uncle Merle gave you your first beer when you were 12. In fact, that shit is actually against the fucking law. He's practically a child molester. You should definitely say that, by the way. If you don't have the chutzpah for the dirt,
just walk away, and there will be an end to the horror.
Before the first word is ever said. Rule 2. Get personal and get vicious. Look, you know these people. You grew up with them. You know they're devils and they're demons. Use them.
Sweep the leg.
Bring up Uncle Merle's drug problem. Or Aunt Nettie's fourth husband, the one who ran off with a dental hygienist. Bring up Cousin Tim being caught jerking off in the Walmart parking lot again. There's nothing so low, so base, so vile as to be off limits when you're fighting over turkey. When I was a kid, I watched an entire marriage end between the kickoff of the Detroit Lions football game and the second round of leftovers. And I learned some things that day, I tell you. I did not know my uncle liked interstate truck stops in that kind of way, and the whole thing started over the election of Ronald Wilson Reagan.
He said it.
And finally, as I learned when the sheriff took my Uncle Johnny away when he demonstrated rule number 3, get in the last word, and I won't even repeat those words in public, do whatever it takes to drop the last line. I don't care if you're in handcuffs or in the back of an ambulance. You drop the killer line that you've been saving about the real father of their third child or their herpes diagnosis. Use that motherfucker as they pull you apart before the carving knife is buried in the person and not the turkey. A part of you is going to feel bad about what you're doing here. After all, Uncle Merle had a third-grade education, a pretty severe brain damage from that exploding chainsaw incident back in '94. You're probably going to want to let it go or maybe even take pity on them. Under no circumstances do this.
Finish him.
If a member of the family tries to intervene, don't let them. Chances are you could take your mom in a fair fight if she tries to drag you from the room. Don't let her. The rules of Thanksgiving fighting are very clear. The person who gets in the last word wins Thanksgiving. You are not fighting about politics anymore. You are engaged in a duel for your very honor. And if you let it end with pinko faggot scumbag, you have betrayed the fundamental principles of every war we've ever fought, every veteran that has ever served. The person who takes the last cheap shot as they drag your asshole uncle through the door into the kitchen is the fucking winner. Be the fucking winner. We are Americans, and hating our extended family is woven into the fabric of our very nations. When the Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock and celebrated the first Thanksgiving, at some point in time, one of the older pilgrims made a shitty remark about Squanto, and a younger pilgrim called him a fascist, and the first Thanksgiving fight occurred in this new country. Live up to that fine tradition. Don't let your shitty uncle get away with being a dick to the very people that helped him survive. Call that asshole out. Or, get stoned on the back porch with your teenage relatives. You'll feel better for it, and it'll actually make Aunt Tilly's yams taste not fucking terrible. God, Tilly, you're not supposed to put curry in a fucking yam dish. At the end of the day, the best solution to all this, of course, is avoidance. I mean, honestly, after a certain point in time in your life, do you need to know your second cousin twice removed? You know what a second cousin is, right? A fucking stranger. Or, depending on circumstances and what they look like, a stranger you might want to fuck. As a general rule, anyone you might accidentally be related to and you've already unfriended on Facebook is not someone you need to have in your life. No amount of profound oratory is going to change Cousin Lester's mind about his political decisions, and hopefully the same thing applies to you. Your family really is an allegory for the whole country. We don't like each other. Probably really don't need each other, and we'd all be better off if we just went our separate ways and never spoke again. Unfortunately, your family is also like your country. We're stuck with these assholes no matter how much we loathe them. So let's all try not to kill each other. After all, chances are, Cousin Lester has a gun in his truck, and you don't. So I'm telling you, try the weed. It will help.
With new, gentler scented Clorox disinfecting wipes, clean finally smells as good as it feels. On everything from lamps to ceiling fans, even on your kid's toy shark. Oh, ouch. Clorox disinfecting wipes, now available in crisp lemon. Find it on Amazon. Clorox, clean feels good.
NBA fans, the race for the Emirates NBA Cup is on.
When the games begin,
30 teams will start, but only 8 will advance. And only one champion will capture the cup. To finish first, they'll have to put the pedal to the metal. Who will capture the cup? Well, let's see what happens on the court.
Basketball is back.
It's the final week of Emirates NBA Cup Group Play on ESPN, NBC, Peacock, and Prime.
That is it for the show this week. Look, I told you there were reruns coming, and I did not lie. And this is an old show. I mean, like, first year of the show. Yeah, I listened back to it before I did this, and woohoo! Did I need to record this again? So that's why you get the total Redux, where I just took the script out, brushed it up, re-recorded everything, and did it from scratch. And at least, I mean, I took the time in this case to tidy up the writing, too. Yeah, it's almost as good as the new show, even though it's not. And you know what? You get another rerun next week because I don't give a shit. I mean, seriously, it's Thanksgiving week. Ain't none of y'all working either. So, but at least next week will actually be Thanksgiving, and it will be a little bit more seasonally appropriate and not talking about stabbing your uncle. But I promise we'll be back with new stuff in December, and starting in January for our winter special, we will be turning a page on a whole new era of What the Hell Were You Thinking? So enjoy your turkey day, try not to kill anyone, hang with us through the holidays, and we swear we'll make it worth your while. Rate, review, donate, follow Jeremy, Dave, Kevin, all the fictionals. We want to say don't call it a comeback. You just call it a finishing move. Look, we're out of here. I mean, seriously, we've got fights to start with our relatives, and we'll see you all first week of December.
Competition's paying the price. I'm going to knock you out. Mama said knock you out.
What the Hell Were You Thinking stars Dave Bledsoe and features Gavin St. James and several fictional minions. The show is produced by Kimberly Steele and a part of the Seltzer Kings podcast network. You can find more information on the show on their website, whatthehellpodcast.com, or on Facebook as What the Hell Podcast. Thanks for listening.
I have no ending for this, so I take a small bow.
I thought turkeys could fly.
Seltzer Kings
Podcasts.